I am one of your three hosts, Dino the Genetic Marvel. I am your Gen Xer, and we are a few comedians from different age categories making fun of everyone, especially the youngest people around. So, who else is here with me?
He didn't even try. I'm Atlas Novak. I'm your millennial.
Cole Clayton, I'm the sex god.
Are you just smoking on stream right now? Is that?
I love that he lit up a
Is
cigarette.
that illegal?
Like, this is gonna be cool.
I don't even know. Well, that's metal in your lungs, right? That's
I'm here
That's
for
metal in your lungs.
That's exactly what that is.
You guys
As I
are
was
busy.
saying, I'm here for a good time, not a long time.
I feel like that should listen, back in the day, let's be honest, is people were like, hey, you're gonna live till 30, 40, and then you get the plague and you die, right? So now when people are like, I live to 80, you're like, 80 is terrifying, especially for me who has lived the life of a roller coaster, okay? I have indulged on so many levels, horrible decisions. But realistically.
All right.
That's why I can't settle down with any of these hoes, man, because it's like, damn, 80's a long way away. And I got to deal with you, married? Nah.
Well, there's this thing called divorce, which, you can usually work out, but
Sally, I got one of
get
those. It sucked. It was horrible.
It
I went through
can be.
I went through a soft divorce. And by that I mean like I wasn't married to the bitch, but we had a kid, and that was the worst experience of my life.
I feel like
So-
referring to her as bitch is definitely one of the reasons why it didn't work out well. I feel like that's not an amicable.
I didn't start calling her bitch till about 3 years in. Okay, I don't want to hear it.
Oh, you kind soul, you.
I didn't start calling her a bitch till she started acting like one.
Oh, Sally, this week I was walking around and a gentleman who was older than I am, and I look like I'm 1,000, but he had all white hair and he was like, he said to me, he was there smoking, and I just walked by and I went, you're like, I regret the day I quit smoking, but thank you for your service, just giving me a little whiff. And he was like, oh yeah, it's like buying a boat. You're like, it's both the best and worst thing you can ever do in your life. You're giving it up, same. You're like, oh yeah, smoking is awesome. It will kill you and make your life horrible, but man, is it cool. Definitely.
I don't know about cool, but it definitely kept me from getting an assault charge last week. So
Smoking?
that's why I started smoking again, honestly, because I was about to fight one of my coworkers legitimately. Like, I was like, I gotta go to the back for a minute, and then somebody brought me a cigarette. I was like, all right, I'm doing this again. This is my thing.
Did you call him a bitch?
There we go.
Where do you work?
I work in a bagel shop. It's not even like serious, too. Like me, I'm so like even keeled and chill and like relaxed. But once you set me off, it's like not a cool situation for anybody. So
That's how it always is with people who are even keel and chill, because they're really not.
Right.
I'm not laid back at all. I just look laid back. Whatever that means.
Sally, I agree with you. I think we need more people who just maybe like, hey, you know what? Everything's gone a little bit fucking crazy. I'm not okay, but I'm pretending damn well. Like Oscar-worthy pretending on a daily basis. And I feel like that should be rewarded.
All the really angry people are pretending more, and so everyone thinks they're more chill because we're overcompensating. Yeah, it should be rewarded. You're right. Yeah,
decriminalize drugs, people. That's what we need. More decriminalized drugs, because I'll tell you, oof.
Well, that's what we should do. We should do an episode in Oregon at some point.
Or just move to the desert if you really want to decriminalize drugs, because everything's pretty legal out here.
Yeah, but I had ancestors that worked for a living. I feel like I've evolved past working for a living, Sally. I don't think I can handle the desert per se. Like not the way that everybody's like, hey, the desert's so fun. Like I can handle the desert with like, I'm the king of the desert. Like it's not.
That's how every guy out here feels, and it's working for them.
They're being lied to, Sally. You and I both know that. You and I both know they're being lied to. Probably by themselves. Yeah, well, I feel like the lie has to start on the inside before you can start telling people. It's like the cult starts in your heart before you start sharing. It's very wise. So I didn't really try with the intro, Atlas, I know, but I thought that was fun anyway.
That's completely fine. Sally Mullins is our guest. How's it going?
Oh, good. I'm not your boomer guest. Some people think I'm older because I do granny porn. I'm also
Just let that
Generation
go.
X.
Let it go. Yeah.
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 Oh, you don't want to talk about that?
Oh no, it wasn't that. I just mean like for you two, keep it cool.
Like
I
if
know
you
you're
don't
saying
react, she might
something.
talk more about it.
Yeah,
So,
exactly.
you didn't tell them that I also do porn? These
No.
guys are
What's
finding
the-
out this trash now. Oh
What's the handle?
God!
Sally,
I-
if anything, we appreciate your service. It's that simple. That's how that works now.
You're welcome.
I'll extra appreciate it with a tip or two. Give me the handle.
Well, you can't really put too much adult stuff on Instagram. They're pretty strict. So my Instagram.
You don't like that shit, man.
Yeah.
Fans or something. Or...
Hey, I got 2 strikes. I get it, Sally.
OnlyFans.
I get it.
Oh, you got 2 strikes on Instagram?
Well, listen. Apparently,
For what?
I'm a sexy man. I'm just joking. No, absolutely not. Listen,
Hey.
I'm the one person on the internet who uses his real name for everything, and everyone's like, I've been canceled. Like I have like 9 alternative identities, and I'm like, you guys are pieces of shit. I'm like, I have just my name. I just go by, I'm Dino. That's it. If you see a Dino online, it's probably me.
Yeah,
It's like,
I mean, I'm currently serving a 30-day ban on Facebook. So.
you also say some heinous shit, Sally.
I say
you have experience
crazy
with
shit.
canceled? Yeah, you do.
Mhm.
You do.
Facebook? I've never been on Facebook. I never got on it. I know that's.
Oh,
Yeah.
so you're like some sort of
What?
superior
Yeah.
being. Maybe a unicorn. Maybe you're a dragon. There's a very good chance. It's-
Dragons
There's definitely
are cool.
some kind of urban myth for sure.
Yeah, you're definitely some sort of mystical creature. So congratulations. It's
I
very
don't know though.
Thank you.
Anybody who doesn't have social media is like, anytime I meet those people in the wild, I'm like, you're a serial killer, aren't you? Like, what are you avoiding?
we should some.
I was avoiding a crazy ex. I loved MySpace, and
There
I
you
saw
go.
him. He was messing with people on MySpace. You know, my people, my top 8.
Oh shit.
Sally, why do you think men are that dumb? Because like I feel there are a lot of men like so I'm currently happily married and I'm very confused. Like I have an ex-wife who I will be like, oh, she's definitely a witch. Like she was put here by the devil and she's horrible. I'll say that, no problem. But people go crazy with this shit. They do weird stuff. Do you know why this is? Because I'm confused by it.
Oh, you mean like people like your ex-wife or my ex-boyfriend or well, yeah, I mean, I think there's a lot of untreated mental illness and then there's things like mainlining, you know. I mean,
What's
just
mainlining?
oh, shooting up, like shooting cocaine,
Oh, okay.
you know, like shooting up. Yeah,
Like
junkie.
you want Christmas every day of the year, and that's
Yeah.
reasonable. It's unreasonable. Save it for December, people.
Yeah.
So basically, it's like that, like White Christmas, but it's I'm dreaming of white Christmas.
Let
Cocaine,
it snow,
cocaine,
let it snow, let it snow.
There it
cocaine
is.
does
Yeah.
not go with
Yeah.
Christmas. Cocaine does not go with Christmas.
How does it
That's
not
how,
go with
That's how everyone knows you're a nerd, okay, sir? That's how
Yeah.
everyone knows
No,
you're a nerd.
it definitely goes with Christmas because you have to do coke to get them extra hours to buy them presents.
Yeah,
I feel
either
like- no,
that
no.
or it's getting high to deal with your insane family. One or the other.
But see, this
That
you
all
need
makes
cocaine.
sense.
Or a
You
wheat
need
thing.
cocaine surrounding holidays. That's when you need it, right? Because you need it to do everything to prepare for the holidays. You need the cocaine to get back to normal life after the long holiday. You need
Oh, yeah.
cocaine, but
This-
during you have to ride. You have to ride it like a roller coaster downwards, and then like, and then just loop back into real life. It's
Does
very
coke help with anxiety?
no,
Oh,
I
not
was
at
gonna
all.
say, I don't think it does.
Quite the opposite, in fact.
It's
So how does that help you deal with your family? I think more weed than anything.
Yeah,
Oh,
weed helps you mentally deal with it.
It depends
Yeah.
how you're wired, you know. It depends how you're wired. I mean, coke gives you confidence, so you might be like happy to see people while you're on coke. You know, it gives you like this feeling of, you know, like
I'll
I
just
can
talk
handle
me
it.
into a drug problem.
Yeah,
like-
yeah.
Cole talks at a level where you just assume you're like he's definitely doing some drug, but yeah, no, that's the thing is you got to come down off of it, and then you ride it through the holiday. It's very, very tricky.
You know, I don't really have a whole lot of experience with drugs. A lot of people are surprised.
Do you blame them? Come on, let's. That mustache says, "I went to the back street alley for many different reasons.
No. That's a microbrewery mustache.
One of them
Sure.
was to go to work. One of those alleys was to a workplace.
Yeah, but it's just one of those things where like it's the mainstreaming of beer, right? Or hipsterization of beer. I'm not really sure. Why don't we ask Sally some questions, which I think I kind of know what the second one's going to turn out to be.
Gentrification
Yeah.
of beer.
Gentrification of beer. There it is. What's an embarrassing song from your playlist?
Okay. My playlist is really long. I mean, it's
Sam.
yeah,
Sounds kind of
it
bragging,
just
but okay.
keeps yeah. Not that matters. Um,
We all know that's a lie. Come on.
long, skinny playlist. I would say okay. Probably like Will Smith, but only like that most popular song, like getting
Get
jiggy
jiggy with it.
Yeah, it's
That's
on
fair.
there because
reasonable.
he's turned out to be so douchey, and there's not even like other Will Smith, so I can defend Will Smith. I'm not even like, well, you have to admit that blah 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 is also great. Like I don't even know any of his other songs. I think his other songs probably suck. Like to me, So
Yeah.
I don't
They
have them
do,
on my
they do.
playlist.
They suck for
Yeah.
everybody. Don't worry. But it was kind of like, well, at least he's nice and polite.
Parents
Yeah.
don't understand.
Apparently
Yeah.
not that either. Who
I
knew?
just think
No.
of the Family Guy cutaway where it's like, I respect women when I'm on a date. I take them to a park or maybe a museum.
Yeah,
I only
and then
try
you're
to
like,
kiss
but
them
also,
if they're ready. Woohoo! Like it's stupid.
yeah, but that's why.
Atlas doesn't respect women. That's the new cutout.
I think
there.
I think I walked right into it. That's
I know what Atlas is all about now.
how about your mom and dad by getting a job so you can help pay.
That's
for
why he'd be
school
liking my
supplies?
tweets all the time. That makes sense.
It's times like this where
Fuck you, Justin.
He's got anger issues. He's just very good at hiding.
I
them.
can't even remember which Justin I was talking about in that clip.
Man, we got all sorts.
Least favorite genre of refrigerator.
Who picks a genre of refrigerator? Atlas does.
Refrigerator. What the fuck?
Listen,
I don't remember that either.
The
What,
no
like-
context, man, is
Yeah.
great.
Whoa. I have R. Kelly on there too, but I'm not embarrassed about that because his music is so good. His music is so good. Although he's more of a criminal. For some reason, I don't feel any, cringe
Listen.
or whatever when I'm
Well,
like,
don't hate the
yeah.
player, hate the game. That's fair.
I mean,
Yeah.
his music implies that he was a criminal. You know what I mean? Like,
oh, absolutely, yeah.
But that's good
Yeah.
music, right? Like when
Right.
you know, hey, that sounds like he knew the crime he was doing, and he did
Yeah.
it well.
What do you mean? Like you're making it sound like Bump and Grind was like a bank heist plan or something. Like,
maybe
It
it
could've-
was. Who
Hey,
knows?
hey, versatility is
Yeah.
what sells, okay? It could have been, maybe it wasn't, but it could have been, and that's
Bump and
talent.
Grind, the tumblers in the safe, so you can get to the gold in the back.
Well, isn't Bump and Grind like kind of a justification song? He's like, there's nothing wrong with a little bump and grind. Isn't that
That's true,
kind of
yeah.
the angle? Like, yeah.
Well,
like
he's
maybe
gonna find
if he
out.
went
He's gonna find
talking-
out.
As long as it's
Exactly what's
between
wrong with
two
him, certain
consenting adults.
Yeah.
Well, or not apparently, because
But he
now
didn't say that.
he gets group fun, right? So that's. Hey, what's happening, McG?
Hi.
Gentlemen in ladies' attire. That's messed up.
Well, hey,
Oh.
that's what we have. We have
Hey,
fun.
hey,
people.
this is a unisex hoodie, okay?
There's no such thing. They're all either pre or post stolen. That's how it works. I don't know why you have to do that, Cole. Just every time. You're
Every
like,
time he does.
that's a
that,
weird way
every
to
time.
enjoy music. I'll tell you that
Yeah.
right now. Anyways,
Right.
let's go on to next questions. Here you go, Sally. Here, I'm an adult. You can't stop me. So something you indulge in, something as simple as maybe breakfast for dinner is a good one. A popular one, of course, is the usage of lots of drugs. But hey, dealer's choice.
I was doing more drugs in high school than I am now, so
Yeah, 'cause you weren't a nerd like these guys.
I went to high school in Florida.
Oh, then there was the Thunderdome you had to survive. That's fair.
Yeah.
Class
The
of 86.
Thunderdome, yeah.
Base Rock Express.
Pussy was my drug of choice in high school. Okay, I don't want to hear it. I wasn't a nerd. I just didn't need to get high. Okay.
Hey man, listen, I chose morality. It was horrible. Ugh,
Oof.
gross, okay? And now listen, if I don't get to lord it over people now, then what was the point? Right?
Yeah.
So yeah, no, I get it. That's fair.
The worst
A lot
part
of
is I
words
didn't
I
even
would not
choose
understand.
morality. I just didn't. I wasn't like cool enough, right?
To choose morality.
Yeah. Or no. It
It
wasn't.
wasn't
cool
my
enough,
choice.
No. It wasn't cool enough to do drugs. Like I wasn't hanging out with the kids who were doing drugs, so it
You
wasn't.
don't have to be
I never
cool to
said
do
I didn't do
drugs.
drugs. I never said I didn't do drugs. Okay, let's be
Oh.
very clear. Okay, it's been very clearly documented throughout history that the use of narcotics has been used for the expansion of people's evolution and
I just
understanding.
need to point out to Atlas, though. Atlas, you don't have to be cool to do drugs. I'm just
No.
letting you know. I've
Not
met
at all.
some straight up fucking geeks that were just getting zonked on some Xanax back in the day. All right, like
Yeah.
they were getting high and playing Dungeons and Dragons,
That's the
which
best
is
way to play
actually
games.
really fun. Actually, I found
it's a great
in
time.
my 20s. So
Nick's already high. Listen, I'll be honest with you. I bought new gummies that are 100 milligrams per, and they come in a package of 30. This is a very dangerous bag for a fat person.
Wow.
Yeah, because that's a lot of marijuana. That is not a safe amount of. Like I won't die, but I might see Jesus. I might start
society's
working.
breaking down. We need to do what we can.
It's
Okay, so no drug. I did more drugs in high school. I would say now something I can do because I'm an adult. Pets. Get as many pets as I want.
Mm,
You can't do that when you're under your parents' roof.
that's true.
Can't
That
get
is
more.
fact. That
If you
is
can
fact.
even get some, you can't get more.
Sometimes you
So-
can get none. That's true. That is a very good point.
Are you advocating for being the crazy cat lady?
I also have 4 dogs.
Oh, so you're a danger to people. I like it.
No,
Better.
she's a
lady.
farmer.
Thank you.
You can't assume that anymore.
Farmers only. I'm in the desert.
That's definitely a
home
farm.
here.
You got to be farming in the desert. That's the only way to
You know
survive.
what though? You have to. If you're in the desert, I think having dogs is a necessity because. So Sally, the way I've said it on this show has been that a dog is a great companion, but a cat is a worthy adversary. So you need more dogs in your life. Just
I have 4
Yeah.
dogs and 7 cats.
oh my
Oh,
god.
you're good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, the cats will ward off the snakes, right? Is that right? Or am I
They're
getting that
indoor
backwards?
cats. They're indoor cats. I
Oh,
hope they don't
okay.
have to deal with snakes, but the dogs will not let any dudes in here, so that's cool.
There you go.
know?
Definitely.
Yeah.
Listen, you need long distance defenses and close quarter defenses. And
Is-
cats are ninjas. That's fair.
Is rapey dudes a thing in the desert? Is that like a real problem?
The dudes who've been hitting on me, I would say, are like too old to be rapey. Like they're even older. They're even older. I know, and I mean, like at a certain point, like serial killers and rapists are generally not like in their 60s, right?
Yeah,
I
you'd
hope
assume
so. I
you'd
don't
be dead by
know.
then, right? Like
Right. Or caught.
jail, in jail or dead. Yeah.
Yeah, they're in jail or dead by that point. But when they were prolific, was like in their 30s, maybe 40s. I mean, think about it.
I have a
Dahmer, Bundy. These dudes were like 35, 38, maybe 40 at the most.
Unless
That
you were the
means-
Golden State Killer, wasn't he in his 60s or something when they caught him?
Oh,
No,
fuck,
because
I'll
that
check
was
out.
that was a whole media stunt. I think honestly, the Zodiac guy.
well,
No,
hold
not
on.
Zodiac Killer.
Zodiac they never
Hey,
got.
Zodiac is
Oh, was that who-
still, hey, he may be the Candyman. We don't know.
Yeah, no,
It's just
No,
crossing through all
Golden
the time.
State Killer was in like the 70s, I think, and then like Patton Oswalt's wife and a few others like
Yeah.
helped
Through
catch him, and they
podcast.
did
Oh,
it
okay,
through,
yeah, I
like,
heard about that.
his
Yeah.
family doing 23andMe, or like that's how they helped track him down like
Wow.
decades later.
Hey,
Yeah,
is that
Well,
not
I've never
insane?
done that shit.
yeah.
Yeah, like honestly, that's one thing where I'm just like, I want to know. I think that's a beneficial thing to know, like, hey, where you come from and your family and your origins. And at the same time, you're like, I don't feel like that information is secure. And also, people do weird shit with DNA. No thanks. That's creepy.
I mean,
right?
I already know that my family floated in on a raft next to the Mayflower, so I'm good. Like, I don't need to know anymore. Like, I've been in a trailer park since before the Civil War, so like, we're good to go, man.
The funniest thing about the Mayflower is that those were considered religious extremists, like back in England. Like they left.
We just hitched a ride, you know.
Yeah.
We were like, cheaper for sure.
And then you're like, we have freedom to build or roll away. Roll away. That's what we're gonna choose. That's the life for us. Like, well, I get it. Anyways,
that's what when people bring up like white supremacy and all that, and how my family probably owns slaves. It's like there's no way. My family's been poor forever. Like it's poverty is just in my blood. So no.
That's a good way. Sorry, Sally. I think we cut you off, didn't we?
No, I don't. No, not that time. But thanks for asking.
Sorry.
I think we're good. No,
we get carried away.
Oh, I was saying that like the guys out here aren't so rapey, but they'll do things like dose your coffee with meth. Not all of them.
Like they want you to be productive. I don't feel like that. I don't think they get it.
They want you to be procreative.
Oh,
okay.
They think that's gonna do it.
That's not how the heat works. That you could.
See, I've never wanted to make a baby with a meth head, so that's pretty weird.
I feel like that's counterproductive. No.
Well, I mean, I'm not looking to make babies, or I couldn't if I wanted to, nor is a 60-year-old man, but they're just thinking like you'll get real horny, if you get dosed. It's not a roofie.
You know what you should do is like start dosing them with Lipitor and stuff like that, and just really mess with them, because you're like, hey, now you're gonna be all fucking weird because that shit makes you pee all the time and stuff. There's a lot of side effects to new drugs that are totally legal.
I feel like the answer here is like right in front of us. Just put on an R. Kelly song.
That's funny that you said that, because this one guy who I'm friends with out here, he didn't know who R. Kelly was. And I was like talking to him about R. Kelly's Trapped in the Closet. And I was telling him who R. Kelly was. And I was like, you know what we got to do one night? We just got to watch the R. Kelly documentary. That was like a possible desert date. It's so weird how this shit's all connected right now. It's like,
it doesn't sound like you're setting a good mood, though.
Oh, Sally, you are a queen. Sweet Jesus, that is fantastic.
Well, we're not kids, I mean, if we do some role play, like, there's no fucking harm in that.
Fair, I guess.
Oh my god, that is fantastic.
Ain't nothing wrong with a little.
Hey,
bump and grind.
Listen, informed consent is a good thing. We all learn that, and I feel like it's you want to. I don't think anyone should be held back from living their Oh, well played. That's fantastic. Oh, I don't even know where to go after that.
Next to the last question, right?
Yeah, well, I think we have a template. So
honestly, that's okay. So, what do you mean I'm an adult? So, when was the first time where you got duped into a situation where you're going, oh, now I have to be responsible? This is some bullshit.
Oh, well, I would say probably let's go back to Florida. Well, first of all, like, even as a kid, like being like 9, 10, 11, whenever there was like a tree house, I always had to be the mom. Like, I had like the mom look, so I always had to be like treehouse mom. Like, so I just had to stay home. Like, that's what they made me do. Like, just hang out in the treehouse while they rode bikes. So, that was lame. But I would say college, because I was in college too long. I was in college in Florida for like 5 or 6 years. So, I just seemed to have to be like responsible more, and people coming to me for advice, and mom figure. I was just spending my dad's money.
I don't know either.
No, that's reasonable.
Yeah. No, so it's just a vibe. It's probably not that specific of a thing, but a vibe. Mature vibe.
No offense or anything, but people would legit come to the girl who's been there for several years for advice.
Yeah, that makes sense.
That doesn't add up to me. I'd be like, well, she's been here too long. I'm gonna go with somebody who like graduated way early.
No. Yeah. The person who graduated fast does not know shit about fuck. Okay, I'll tell you that right now.
It's fair, but that's where I would go with it. I'm dumb though, so I spent 5 semesters in college and felt like I was there too long. So
We probably learned about the same. And yeah, people should have been like, why is she still here?
See, hey,
my teachers were definitely feeling that after my third semester.
I imagine by that point they look at you as just like, I know every inch of this campus. I've been here too long.
That's fair. You probably know where the parties were.
Yeah, it's like
yeah.
it's like Red from Shawshank Redemption.
Florida.
He's just like he's there for life. He knows
Right.
what's up.
There's a hole in your dorm, like.
Hey, you know what? Honestly, comparing it to Shawshank, let's calm down, okay? You found a secret spot to have your coffee where there's shade and a nice breeze. Is not like jail in the early 1900s, sir. Okay, let's just calm down. Holy man, you know what?
College in Florida.
I mean, yeah, you're from Florida, so like, there's definitely a lot of parallels because like you may or may not have killed somebody, you know.
Most of my serious boyfriends have like killed someone, you know, just maybe just it got out of hand, him or me type thing. It's weird. It's weird to know that.
I feel like in Florida, you're more likely to get away with murder just because of the alligators. So like, it's definitely on the table.
Yeah.
You know, so like being a good boyfriend is probably in your, you know, best interest. Yeah.
Oh, well, no, but let's be honest though. Realistically, you guys have seen the video where a guy was like, he had like GTA'd somebody else's car. He drove away. He's like, ha ha ha, and they chased him. He got stuck on a bridge, so he jumped out of the car, drove off the bridge, and like there was an alligator, just like clump.
Oh shit!
And you're like, yeah, that's Florida. That's just how that shit is.
That's like the exact opposite of my cousin, who jumped off the Golden Gate Bridge, survived, and then went back and did it again. He went off once, expecting to survive, and just got nommed by an alligator.
Yeah, which is
in Golden Gate.
No, this is in Florida.
God damn it, Cole. No, I'm saying the
So
guy
he
in the
died.
story. Yeah,
So like, what do alligators get in Florida or California?
But that's the whole thing. Like realistically, like that's the problem with Florida is you just have to survive Florida, and then you can do anything. I feel like that's what people are missing now is because the Thunderdome that it was being a youth, like everyone was going to kidnap you. Quicksand everywhere could just magically appear into quicksand. Mm-hmm. That was definitely. If you didn't drink like 9 cups of milk a day, you would turn into dust immediately. Those are all.
The craziest part of like being a kid in the 90s was all the dot milk shit.
And if you did drugs, your skin would just leap off your body and you turn into some sort of robot person.
And I haven't had a glass of milk in 20 years.
They're still trying to like keep that shit going every year. Like they're putting weed gummies in your kids' trick or treat.
I would go to more houses. I would walk more if they would deliver me with gummies, man.
Yeah, no, like no the fuck you aren't.
These things are monsters.
They're trying to get your kids addicted. How? Kids don't have money. If you're a drug dealer, you're trying to make money.
Yeah.
First time's free, kid. Get your allowance and come back here. That's just not a thing.
Has anyone ever walked up to a drug dealer and be like, hey man, first one free, right? Have you ever tried? I have, and he went, what the fuck is wrong with you? I'm like, it was a joke, man. I was just joking.
The first one is free in the desert. Yeah.
Evidently. It's usually, and it's in a glass of coffee, right? Or
desert Starbucks.
It's also a surprise.
Starbucks.
God. All right, so
desert Stormbucks.
Why don't we get into the actual episode topic proper?
The actual episode topic. Let me see. Hold on. I made a whole picture for it. It's this. Should we put down the popcorn or keep watching? The idea is that I feel this, Sally, and I'm not sure. I think that these two gentlemen feel the same way about it. Was that there's a lot of knowledge that I know that I learned as a youth, where I was like, oh, everyone should know that, like, completely, and it's like, oh no, people don't know that information anymore. But at the same time, as an adult, I'm saying, going, I kind of want to see how they figure it out, because this is just like, for me, like I grew up, I used to be a real person. I was a financial planner. It was horrible because it was just like, you're just like, oh, I just steal money from everybody. Oh, okay, that's a Do I make any money? Okay, I make some people money. That's nice, but it's horrible, very taxing on your soul.
Mhm.
But I'm like, people walked in and they had no idea how money worked or anything like that. And I'm like, so I tried to tell people, and then I'm like, oh no, it's just I'm gonna just watch them fail monetarily and just go, oh, well, you should read a book. It's important. Anyways, so your thoughts, please, everyone, please feel free to discuss.
That
Okay,
was so
so
random.
to clarify, do you mean like the passing of knowledge between generations, or
Yes, but also maliciously no. Does that make sense?
kind of?
So I feel like some people are not simple rules to learning, such as, okay, you walk into someone's home and say, oh, do you guys leave shoes on or shoes off? Because some people, like depending on some areas, right? Like somewhere I know in Greece, where my family is from, people leave their shoes on in most houses because they have marble floors or tile. Everything's hard, right? So you leave your shoes on, and you can hose it down, right? It's great, but
Dude, if I walk in your house and you ask me to take your shoes off, your house better be like fucking spotless. I'm not gonna, because I'm gonna complain. I'm gonna be like, your house is dirty. Like,
I just love the idea of
you
somebody
think my
doing-
shoes are dirtier than this place? Fuck you! I feel disrespected now. I'm leaving.
I think
don't wanna be
I think
here.
the shoes off thing is a bit of a drag because, like, I've been through so much like foot fetish, experiences, and I feel, like maybe my feet aren't ready to be seen. It's very humiliating sometimes if your feet aren't ready to be seen and you got to take your shoes off in someone's house. I just rather not go over the fucking house, or I'll say, "Do you have socks?" And then they hook me up with some socks, and
that's pretty.
Yeah. It's humiliating. I don't like it.
I understand the problem with that. Like, I personally have Flintstone feet. It looks like a circle that someone's just drawn lines onto. So I don't really care. But then, like, I don't have a thriving economy based on my foot. So,
Okay, so here's my thing. If you come over to my house and you ask for socks from me, you're not getting matching socks. I'm gonna let you
I
know
don't
right
care.
now.
I'm
matching
cool with
socks? Yeah,
that.
fuck matching socks.
I obviously, like, if you saw my feet, and I mean, I make money off my feet because guys are into
As you
whatever.
Right.
Yeah, but
if they'll pay, that's fine.
I mean, I'll try my absolute best to make sure they're like the same length, sock. But other than that, like, I might give you like a pink one and a black sock. I'll be like, here you go. Just let you know, you're gonna do the same way I do, which is I haven't worn matching socks in probably 20 years at this point. That's not something. That's a thing. That's a generational thing that I think needs to go. Is worrying about whether your socks match or your underwear matches your bra or like all that. Like, it's dumb. Like, why do we give a shit so? It's anxiety for no fucking reason. Honestly,
that's there's a lot
incredibly
of that.
based.
Okay,
I think Gen X. I think my generation started working like with grunge. We said fuck a lot of that. So you guys owe us for that. I think we
I
started.
didn't fold my laundry.
Fuck.
True.
No.
Listen.
Why would anyone do
Put it
that?
in my drawer.
Okay? I'm gonna meet you guys halfway, okay? Because my generationalness says, Sally, we are of one mind, where it says fuck the police, right? But at the same time, my OCD says I will murder you if you try and give me two different socks. I'll be like, I will burn this house to the ground if you don't match both of them now. I need matching for both of them. We have to do laundry right now. Like, it'll drive me crazy. But here's the secret. Here's the secret, okay? Is you just I buy sets of like 18 socks. I have 18 sets of socks that will last for an entire month. I do laundry for that stuff just once. You have a very simple, not a month, but you know what I mean.
Dino, your generational wealth is showing.
That's true.
I found this fancy cigar cutter the other day, and I've been playing with it because I'm dying for a cigarette. I quit smoking, Sally, last Christmas, and I've wanted to murder ever since. And I feel like society will only be justified until I do murder or start smoking again. It's so horrible.
I bet that's really hard. Yeah, a lot of my ex-boyfriends smoke. They smoke Cools. They don't intend to quit. It's their problem.
I kind of hoped I had died before I had quit. It's just, I don't recommend it.
Are you taking like Wellbutrin? I heard it really helps.
No, just willpower and testicular fortitude. I just, I like to express my superiority by achieving things that really should be simpler. But
And then every day he reminds himself that that's metal in his lungs. So,
that's right, and that I'm one of the greatest things alive because of it, which is insane. But otherwise, I would murder. So no wins.
I don't know. I think there's this whole thing with like for a while it was considered nerdy to want to learn, and like
Yeah.
it's a bad thing. And I think with to their credit, Zoomers are very into the idea of learning new things, but also afraid to try new things in terms of like skills. I think that's the major brain drain. It's not about like
Maybe.
Zoomers are in a lot of Zoomers are like into history and into like culture and stuff like that. But in terms of like trying to learn a skill, there's this fear of like, oh God, what if I look bad? All the people on social media are trying things and it's working out perfectly because I don't see them messing up and it getting deleted.
Don't people get that what people put out on social media is
Curated?
Yeah, because that's all I hear. Oh, I just get so pissed when I go on social media and I see everyone's killing it and like.
You're just seeing the things that they're killing with, right? Not everything in between. And like, there's that, but then also, I gotta say, if when I was a kid and everyone had a phone that could film me doing something stupid at any particular point in time, I would be terrified of looking stupid.
I'll tell you
trying
guys.
new things.
Hey, I have a picture that I stole from somebody because it's a picture of my bare butt with a cigarette in it. Okay, that's from the 90s. Okay, and I have that on my phone. And I'm like, yeah, that is a secret picture, okay? So imagine if the phones had been just 5 minutes earlier in my life, who the hell knows what would have happened?
Early or late 90s?
Yes.
Okay.
Dino is more of a freak than I thought.
It actually might have been 2000.
We're gonna have some fun in November.
Oh, bro. Yeah, no, I'm gonna make sure. So, Sally, I'm actually gonna be going. Cole is in Cleveland, and Atlas is going to meet me there. So this is the first time I'm traveling since the world went crazy. Oh. I personally didn't. I thought it didn't go crazy enough. I'm owed a nice, solid, good pandemic, and we got was bullshit. I was very disappointed. Very disappointed.
Everybody was too orderly and like.
Well, it turns out everyone just turned out to be very racist. Which I'm like, hey, we did this shit in the '90s and put a stop to it. Why the fuck is this shit still here? It's not. I don't like it.
Because we had a 75-year-old president. What did you think was going to happen?
Who acts like he's 97? You're like, why? Why is that an option, people? I feel like
I'm talking about the one before the current one. Like,
same here. They're all crazy. You're going, hey, like, where are the politicians that are scientists, career scientists, who are like, hey, we need more science in law? Yes, we do.
I feel like we should start a campaign for Atlas here pretty soon when he's of age. Because I think he would make a good president. Because like he would either blow his brains out because of the stress, or he'll have everybody's like general well-being in mind. You know what I mean? Like let's get away from these old. Fucking motherfuckers who hate everybody.
I agree with.
Get off my lawn!
Yeah, I agree with not having gerontocracies anymore. That's another thing. Is that like they're keeping people around so long, not only in politics, but things like recently, all the action stars are fucking old. Like there's no like Zoomer like the only like Zoomer action like movie star is like Tom Holland.
But listen,
and like he's Spider-Man.
How old is he though? He's like
25.
20.
Oh, Tom Holland. Okay.
Yeah,
okay.
Tom
yeah,
Holland.
He's young. Yeah.
Right. Like they're doing stuff with The Rock still. Freaking, they gave Sylvester Stallone an action movie recently, which is crazy.
Oh wow.
Oh, yeah. Samaritan. He actually did really good though. But listen,
Ryan Reynolds, I guess, is kind of young. He's in his early 40s.
Yes,
he's technically a millennial.
He's a confirmed Canadian wizard. Okay, his skin should not be that elastic. At his age,
he's only 40. You know what I mean? Like, he's not that
having
old.
a little. Listen, he's too thin to have skin that didn't work that way. Like,
okay, Dino, he didn't eat McDonald's 7 times a week, so like he's not going to look like you.
Number one, I feel personally attacked. Number two,
you are personally attacked.
You know, and I both know that my fat was created with steak and truffles. I am a rich, bougie bitch. Okay, I don't jiggle. I thunk, sir.
Don't act like you didn't enjoy a nice Big Mac in the 90s.
I liked a Whopper more so. Like it felt like a man's burger.
Yeah,
Whopper.
Filet of fish all the way, man. Hey,
Hey,
how
pick
was
your poison.
yeah, Happy Meals in the 80s and filet of fish since so good
Yeah.
with tartar sauce. Dino, is it like as far as the quitting smoking, have you gained weight, lost weight? Are you eating stuff that you normally weren't or
No, it's actually it's been very bland. It's been mostly like I learned so being Greek. I feel a lot better than most people.
Okay.
So, but I learned from my white friends that you could just feel sorry for yourself and have a whole made up victimization very easily. So, my suffering from smoking is like, oh, life is so hard. Where I'm like,
I gotta be honest with you.
we
It
need
sounds
to
more like
build
white women
strong-
than it does just white people.
I try not to be like that, okay? Listen, the next great achievement is going to be no sexism, okay? Cole, keep your mind out of the gutter.
Y'all gonna have to get rid of me then.
Anyone could feel it. Look, even Serge came to visit. Hey, Serge. Sorry,
Hi.
we have people watching live on a few channels here, Sally, but this past week I'm normally on the internet every day and I haven't been because I got into a car accident, but yeah, no, it was fucking cool though because I've made it into a secret joke that I'm like, I may have found a story about 10, 15 minutes that may become magical. We'll see. I don't know. We'll see.
Are you gonna be? I mean, is your car trashed? Is it totaled?
It is. Interestingly enough, it is fucked, but walked away. Like I walked away, and I'm like, "Hey, maybe I'm a sorcerer." It's quite interesting because the car that hit me looks now like a snowplow.
Wow.
It doesn't look good. It did not drive.
They make cars to do that now. From what I've read about, I know, surprising. I read.
Why do you have to make not a sorcerer?
Cars just crumple now, and it actually saves the drivers. Is from what I've read about.
You said
something about transfer of energy.
You said we were friends. You should be like, hey, Dino, you're definitely a sorcerer. I believe you. That's what friends say, okay? Not actually. Science says.
I mean, people still die. People still die in car accidents. I'm just saying, the crumplability has improved. People being able to walk away. So
the craziest part
10 years ago, you'd probably be dead.
Cole read something.
I know, right? Every once in a while, I see like a clickbait thing, and I just get wrapped up in it.
Every time Cole reads something, his hair gets a little more red.
Yeah.
It starts from the side. It's like a health bar in video games, just slowly.
And that's pink.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
It's pink. That's weirder. Oh, fantastic. No, but so Sally, the real question is, Dino is full of magic. That's for
Dino is full of magic. That's Fat Cole. Wait, Dino is Fat Cole or Cole is
I am Fat Cole, actually.
Wow.
Technically. We're all just one person.
Don't be Fat Sally and me.
No.
Whoever these people are.
Actually, that would make a good fan theory that we're just all talking to each other from different points in time.
Yeah, you know how I'm supposed to be like a time traveler or whatever?
Yeah.
What if all of us are just varying versions?
It's like the Zelda
different timelines.
We're like,
I feel like I'm willing.
I'm the child timeline. Cole's the adult timeline. Dino's the downfall.
I'm the adult.
Shit.
You're the one where Zelda sends Link back in time and he's not there to prevent Ganon.
I think I am the normal timeline, and then Dino is the timeline in like 15 years, and then you are some weird timeline where I went hard left, politically speaking.
Yeah.
So where like I was like, oh, I like everybody, and everybody should have like an opinion. So.
Hey, Sally, you live in the desert. People don't. Yeah. Do people have opinions on the desert, or people just? How does that work?
It's too hot to have an opinion.
I feel like that's very true.
There are some, like most of the people who would consider themselves like political or into politics, I would say are conservative, and then there's a lot of people who are kind of like they don't really know what an outlier is, but but they have some opinions. Like
Sure.
they wouldn't say they're libertarian, but they're just like, I'm anti-government, but then at the same time, like they want benefits, you know,
Yeah.
they like
That's
want
the old
Right.
guy dosing people with meth for coffee, and they're like, productive day, maybe
I
some
think,
sex.
well,
Yeah.
when
You
you
know.
live
That
far
element.
away from people, like you kind of become more conservative, and then when you live close to people, you're like, oh, you know what? We're all in this together.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
That
like
is
one way or
typically
another.
true. That whole
I
urban rural
like
divide, yeah.
everyone. Like there's a lot of characters out here. There's a lot of
Yeah.
people who are really hilarious. There's a lot of kindness.
Sure.
A lot of people love their animals. They just don't have any resources for them. Like I'm trying to help people with their animals out here, but they love their animals. And it's better in some ways than LA, where everyone's like, I love cats and dogs, but I can't have one because I'm living in like a studio apartment or I'm busy or, you know. So I kind of like a lot of the things about the vibe. I mean, even the guy who put meth in my coffee, I'm friends with. We worked it out.
Yeah, I mean, you
hey
got
man,
turn the other
why don't
cheek,
we
I
just
guess,
agree to
right?
not do
That's-
that next time?
That's more
Yeah,
the adult
yeah,
thing to do,
yeah.
though. Hey,
Yeah,
that's not
yeah.
okay. Drink it. You drink
It's
it.
something about
asshole.
turning a leaf, but y'all don't got leaves out there, so like.
Yeah. It's very dry.
Okay, I have a question.
Nothing lives here.
Sally, you brought up
Except for
like
meth heads.
political differences and stuff. So,
Yeah.
my girlfriend's dad is pretty conservative. He's more like a Reagan type conservative, like 80s conservative.
How
But
old is he?
He is
1,000?
59, I think.
Okay.
But
Young.
he does this thing where anytime politics comes up, and especially now because Katie's ballot got shipped to their house, so like he brought it up on his own. He'll bring up just kind of like stupid shit, and Katie's like, you can't. Don't dunk on him. Don't like talk about it. Just kind of let it roll off your back.
Dunk the fuck out of him.
I am trying so hard to like keep my shit together. It's like that thing where from Seinfeld where George is like, "You want to get nuts? Let's get nuts!" Like it's trying so hard to keep that spirit just.
Yeah.
My favorite thing is when you run into somebody who's super political, and then I'm like, being me, I'm like, oh, I don't vote, and they just what?
Yeah.
No, I'll one up
Atlas
you
done it to me before.
Bro, you know what I do? I did this to somebody in real life, and they got so mad that I'm like, I definitely have to try and use this a bit. Where somebody said the word Obama, and you're like, I don't follow French politics.
Yeah.
And they go, and they just lost their mind when they're like, French politics. You're like, yeah, sorry, no thanks.
That's funny.
And like, they were so like. Enraged is the only word because they're just like, what? How do you not know? It was so.
That might be more like of a classical prank over here in the States, Dino.
The problem is in the States, people can shoot you. In Canada, I'm in Toronto. People can't walk
Nobody's
around.
gonna shoot you. Like if you say you don't follow Obama, nobody who's an Obama supporter is gonna shoot you.
I feel like guns may still go off, maybe in celebration, but I still feel uncomfortable with that.
No,
like,
not one Obama supporter
bang, okay.
has a gun.
No,
I think I'm the only Obama supporter that owns a gun, and I didn't become a gun supporter till it looked like the world was gonna fall apart. So, till the apocalypse, the soft apocalypse started to go off.
Well,
there's a lot of armed leftists, but that's more recent, I think.
They don't shoot people though. That's a straight red politic thing.
Cole, your laugh is crazy. It's like a chimpanzee has been.
It is, isn't it? It's so weird.
Driving a cripple through a cage. I think that's great.
I'm definitely the missing link, based off of my laugh alone. I've thought that for years. Everybody's like I was insecure about it for a long time when I was a teenager, and then so I always brought up people like, no, you're fine, no, you're fine. And then now as I'm an adult and I really let it rip, like people bring it up. You're like an ape man.
Generation Dan. Listen, Generation Dan is about bringing people together.
Grape Ape is Gen X cartoon. I've talked about that on a podcast before. It was like a big cartoon in the 70s, late 70s. Grape Ape. Grape Ape. It's just like a big, huge orangutan, like purple colored, going around town, and he's going like grape ape.
That sounds mildly racist.
That just sounds like
it does, but it's not.
Rapey.
It definitely sounds rapey. It sounds more rapey than it does racist.
Grape ape.
but
It
still
could be
not.
both. Yeah.
Well, definitely
Grape
gives off that vibe. But can you imagine someone going grape rape? You're like, what?
Yeah.
You're like,
Oh,
I
say it
think
one more
it
time.
was pretty innocent. It was pretty fun. I liked it. I liked Grape Ape.
Well, look, it was just.
oh my god.
I mean,
Okay.
Dora the Explorer is pretty innocent. That's pretty racist. So
There
Wow.
are only 16 episodes of Grape Ape. That's it.
Oh, really? They pulled it. Why?
It was September to December of 1975, and then it ran in reruns until 1978.
Wow, it was earlier than I thought. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's fantastic.
Grape Ape, Grape Ape. He would say that like he's going around town, like watching out for cars. He was pretty careful.
so he's just a cop, just repeating the same thing over and over again and watching people. Got it.
I think the Grape Ape that most millennials and Zoomers know is the weed strain, right?
Yeah. Okay. So that's where I've heard that. Okay,
There it
that
is,
makes sense. I was like, I've heard that before.
That's where it's from.
Yeah.
Probably.
Some boomer was selling pot and named it.
I think we need to get back to like no-name versions of weed. Where like this gets you high +1 to +5, and that's it. You just 5 levels. That's it. Because now people are like, it's named Jesus' nipple flare. You're like, what does that mean? Is that gonna get me high? I don't know.
It was definitely weird. Like back when I worked at a dispensary, like some of the strains had the most stupid names, and they're like, "So what can you tell me about this?" And I'm like, "Well, this God's taint is has like, and it's just like you can't keep a straight face while trying to,
That's
well,
funny.
you can, but it's not good.
The purple pussy destroyer.
Yeah.
Sure. Okay, I'll put that in my mouth. Like,
They're chewables.
right. Why is my tongue numb?
Okay. Before we go to our last thing, Sally, where can everyone find you to follow you on what social media things?
Oh, cool. Okay. Yeah. Sally Mullins 818 is Instagram. Sally Mullins 1 is Twitter. And if you are interested in my adult content, it would be OnlyFans Ms. Jamie Foster. I think I just got peeped out by something. What was that noise? Someone's phone? That's cool.
Yeah, it was my phone. I just got a text message right at the weirdest time. It was
weren't you like
weird timing.
maybe you were looking up my OnlyFans or something?
I think that's exactly what he was doing.
No, I don't pay for it. Like as much as like I try to pretend to be that skeevy dude, I won't pay for it. So if you have a free month or whatever, I might check it out. But other than that,
I haven't done that in a while because I don't want to the free things on OnlyFans. I just want to stick with my loyal followers. My OnlyFans only like $6.99 or so. I don't even know how much it is, but I don't raise the price. I don't put it on sale. I'm just like, you're here. Let's stick around.
Hey,
it's like
having confidence in your product is a good thing, Sally, and you should be proud of your product.
No, there's nothing wrong with it. Do your thing. Like I'm not anti sex work by no means at all. I'm actually very happy that that's a thing nowadays. Because like it's given women the upper hand, first time ever. But at the same time, Netflix has way more content for y'all to be trying to charge for the same amount. I'm just saying, you know what I mean?
And it's dirtier. And it's like Netflix is dirtier, man. There's like more good smut on normal TV. I mean, really. And like half the time, the girls I know, OnlyFans, they don't update it at all. They just get you on there, and then every 3 days or something, they're like, "I've been so busy," you know.
Right. If y'all did like a bundle, if like a bunch of y'all got together and did like a bundle, I might, because I'm the kind of guy that the reason, like when I check out Pornhub, I like to watch like different porn stars every day. You know what I mean? So I can't be spending $11.99 every month for the same chick. You know what I mean?
Well, that's what it's all about. It's like if you want to get porn is free. You can get as much variety as you want. But OnlyFans is more like you're connecting with that one person, which is sometimes unrealistic.
It's like financially speaking, having a girlfriend. So like I'm not. That's not for me. Having a girlfriend, I mean.
That was the weirdest tangent in the universe.
Yeah, there's that's what people are looking for on OnlyFans, like some sort of connection and low-key girlfriend, you know. And some people have a ton of money, so.
Yeah, that's the other thing. I'm broke as fuck, so.
But listen, that is an idea: is to have a lump sum or grouping based on like, hey, if you're interested in this, so you could do by categories or interests or anything. I feel like you guys are onto something, possibly a new world order. Listen, I can sign on to this kind of party, okay? Because I'm a vanilla pervert. I don't need nothing crazy, just for normal stuff.
Vanilla is a flavor too.
The feet thing,
And a
the
good flavor
rise.
at that.
I want to say it's a rise in feet, like fetishes, but I feel like it was
And
always
art.
there, just more in the open, and it's alarming how many
I think just
feet
Tarantino
models there
made it
are.
like.
I believe it's a
okay.
supply and demand issue. So think about it this way: is that there is a significant supply of a supply and or availability of pictures of feet. However, as we know, men are trash. You can
Right,
you can
100%.
force them to love something. You're like, love only fingernails, and they're like, oh, just rub them all over my face because they're ridiculous, right? So that's the thing is, if
They'll
them being
do weird
available,
shit.
guys are
Weird
like, well,
shit.
I'm into feet. Why? Because everybody's got 2 feet.
I
And you know
mean,
what?
I could never.
Hold on.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
Go ahead,
Oh,
Sally.
I was supposed to say is that feet is like a really safe way for people to sort of flirt with
Also
being
true.
in porn. It's really
Yeah.
fetish. I mean, it really is like a true fetish
Hey,
because
and it's
people
hard
are
work.
often, yeah. Well, I mean, people are often what is this fetish or porn? I mean, feet is truly fetish unless you've got like a dick in the picture with them. It's really foot fetish,
Yes,
and a lot of girls, they hear, oh, OnlyFans, you can finally create, and be in control of your own product. And people don't want to do like all this close-up genital gynecological stuff, so it's a very safe area. Proliferation of foot models. Yes.
I mean,
Listen,
from that
baby's coming out of
point
that
of
thing. I don't
view,
need to get my face right in this. Calm down, everybody. Relax. Just
from that point of view, though, it seems safe. But when you look at it on the flip side of the coin, where it's the man who's into that, it's dark. In my opinion, like personally speaking, that's kind of
so
weird. If
I-
he's truly into that, he'll pay for it too.
I feel like it's an emotional connection that's needed, and that's the difference, right? Is because
Yeah.
it's they're grasping at straws, but that's the thing is some people are just fucking like feet. They're weird. I don't get it, but
I mean,
man, fucking
I
cool.
will say I could never be with a girl who had like fucked up looking feet. But at the same time, it's like it's also not that important to me either. You know what I mean? Like she has to have pretty feet, but like past that point, it's like whatever.
I don't know. I mean, I find like guys either care about feet or they don't, and
There
so
you
I'll
go.
go, "Oh, my feet look kind of rough," and they're like, "I never really got that, so who cares?" Like they won't even, you know.
I mean, if you have some gnarly feet, I'm gonna be like, I'm not. This is
Sally,
it working.
you and I,
Oh, yeah.
you and I get it. It's Cole doesn't realize is he's talking about the equation of time has to factor in, and he'll like feet. Right now, he's going, "Well,
Yeah,
I have
yeah.
options.
So,
I have youth and hair."
Yeah,
so
yeah.
you're saying
Now he's
I'm
like,
a closeted fetish guy? Okay, I got you.
No,
You're-
no,
Might be
no,
a
no.
thing.
You're a foot guy
Like
with
you
options.
can be
Jared.
picky now. Yeah, you
Yeah,
can
you
be picky now.
Fuck.
Yeah, trust me, it becomes a nightmare. Anyways, Sally, you've been a pleasure to have on. You've been
Thanks
very
for having me on, you guys. Atlas, I look
100%.
forward to seeing you in the clubs, and
absolutely.
I'm only coming into LA once a week now because I'm in the desert.
One more thing before you
Yeah.
go.
Mhm.
A question we asked all our guests, which is, as a comedian, what is a weird set you've had? Good, bad, weird, otherwise, memorable.
Wow. Oh my God. I mean, I've been doing comedy for like 25 years, but I had an amazing set for the military. I remember it was like Honduras or something, and it was in a bar, and just the energy was so great. But as far as like a weird set, I remember once I was like a year into comedy, and I was in the Ice House, and they used to call the little room next to the main club, they used to call it the Annex. Now it's called Stage 2, but it was called the Annex. But it was still like, I'm at the Ice House, you know? And a male comic who had recently dumped me, and the girl he had dumped me for, they sat down in the front row, and I was doing that new comic thing where I was trying all new material, and I bombed, and I ate shit in front of them. It was so sad. But, it took like 3 days to feel better. Like bombing the first year of comedy, it takes a couple of days. Yeah.
Well, the worst part is that they sat down in front of you like,
No, that comic's an asshole.
No,
and he did that. You know what? He played an asshole move, and then was like, "I'm looking at you."
It wasn't though. They sat down ready to laugh at me because he was over it. He was like, "Oh yeah, Sally and I had fun, but we're better together. She's really funny. Watch her." They came from a good place. I was just a bad comic.
Oh, that's rough.
Hey, if
Yeah.
you were a year in, everybody.
I mean, if it makes you feel better, I went on stage and like legitimately had like a back and forth flirtation with the really like hot chick who was sitting right in front of the stage for like 2 minutes. Like it was, and it really, the crowd was into it. And then I went into my set and just bombed. And then she didn't want to have shit to do with me after that. So if it makes you feel better, like
That sucks. Yeah,
it's a normal thing.
Yeah, that sucks too. I get you.
Well,
Yeah.
I feel like there's a lot of common ground when people are actually funny, like you're like for comedians, versus it being men. If you're like, oh no, when you bomb, it's always in front of the most important. What you would need to validate yourself, that's when you're going to eat all of the shit. Just all of it. It's gonna come on a trough
For
and just
sure.
just nonstop.
Oh yeah, going up after you have like either while you're in the middle of or after you had a fight with family or a significant other is just like you are. Gonna do shit,
that's that's when you're like you get one of those. I regret my choices today.
Yeah, that's the most unrealistic part of the marvelous Mrs. Maisel, where she has a fight with her husband and then goes up on stage and fucking destroys.
Oh, I disagree. I mean, I don't even. I'm not thinking about any of that shit when I'm up there. I'm not. And sometimes I've been treated really badly backstage, like someone riding my ass real hard. But I just go up there and it's another world. Yeah, I don't even. The minute you get that first laugh, I'm not even worried about any other crap going on.
You gotta get to that mental headspace.
Yeah.
Which I think that's a maturity too, like where you eventually learn. You're like, oh wait, no, I'm indestructible up here. I can say whatever I want, and I will ruin someone's existence. Like,
I've only ever had like good experiences on stage. Back when I was with my baby mama, we were arguing all the time. So like whenever I would leave after an argument, I would just have like the greatest sets, and I would come back home and try to talk to her, be like, "I had such a good." She was like, "Fuck you."
So she motivates you to do better.
Take care of your fucking kid. Yeah.
Because she looks at it as like this is just some hobby for this guy. And it's fair, at the time.
Yeah.
That's listen. Every time somebody argues with you, you're like, "I had a great day." They're like, "Fuck your day, you son of a bitch! Fuck your day!
Exactly.
Why are you out here eating meals and shit?"
It was
like
valid for her. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
this sandwich is delicious. Fuck you, eat a salad, motherfucker. That's You lose weight? Fuck you. Eat some candy, asshole. Yeah, no, that's fair.
All right.
This has been Generation Dan, everyone.
This has been Generation Dan. Find us on Twitter, Instagram at Generation Dan or Generation_Dan, respectively.
Yes.
Find me at Atlas Novak. How about you guys?
Yeah, I'm Dino the Genetic Marvel. Google me, but also follow this channel as well, Generation Dan podcast on YouTube and everywhere else. I'm here. This is where I am. Follow me. Otherwise, why would you do that? Why do you hate yourself so much? Please.
I'll follow you guys. So see ya.
We'll follow you. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Sniffing Glue 22 on all platforms, everywhere.
Wonderful.
All right.
Thanks
Thanks
everyone.
everybody for watching.